Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Faye. Today I am joined by RAT Comedy. How are you?
It's been a long time. I am doing well, thank you.
It's also been a long time for us. Glad to hear that RAT Comedy, but it's been quite a bit. Our last episode was me talking about a series nobody cared about for an hour.
Congratulations.
uh, what?
Congratulations. We got an audience.
Yeah, when I was that episode, I was like, when I looked back, it's like I was like, did I have like a fucking did I black out at some point? Why is this an hour long? And then I remembered, oh yeah, I talked about one point for 40 minutes. I started talking about the rest of the series about 40 minutes in or some shit like that. Fucking wild. But yeah, I don't know how Like a Dragon Yakuza episode even reached that level. I haven't played the fucking games yet, but yeah. That was last episode. That was what? That was 6 days ago. At least from we're recording it now. Probably hearing this on Friday, so yippee! Anyways,
Yippee.
um, today we are continuing our review, I guess our rewatch, our going through of the saga of the uh oh, that's weird. Our going through of the saga of the original trilogy for Star Wars, with Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And also, I want to call out somebody.
Uh-oh.
Whoever gave the fucking dislike on the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2 episode, how about you go kill yourself? I'm kidding, no.
Bro.
Who, and also the guy who disliked the Titanfall 2 episode, also kill yourself. I want blood, man. I want fucking blood. Who disliked the Incredible Hulk episode? Is it because I gave it a bad rating?
Oh, wait.
Who disliked the Flash?
Someone's, a- someone's after us.
I I gave Incredible Hulk a C tier. That's not like a bad. That's not a terrible rating. Also, whoever disliked the Flash episode, why the fuck are you disliking a Flash review? Is it whoever thinks the Flash movie is a good movie? Like, what the fuck? Like, I was joking before about go kill yourself, but I was being fucking serious. I'm being serious now. Who is disliking the Flash episode? Is it because me and Trevi gave a bad review to the Flash movie? Come on. And also, why the fuck I gave a pretty good review for Chaos 3 Season 2. Why the fuck does it have a dislike? I don't know. Anyways, I'm joking. Obviously, you can dislike whatever you want to dislike. Just expect me to call you out.
You're not allowed to
Anyway,
dislike, actually. No disliking.
yeah.
Oh my
You
god.
can't dislike. It can only be shown to the creator, so it can hurt their feelings. Well, how about fuck you? I'm here to hurt your feelings. That's what I'm here for. Anyways, Empire. Right. Okay. So, Empire Strikes Back is considered the best movie out of the entirety of the original trilogy and the best Star Wars movie ever made. Like, objectively speaking. That is what the movie is usually heralded as. Being the best Star Wars movie ever made. Is that pertinently truth? We'll find out here. But yeah, we're going through them all, hopefully, before Andor Season 2 comes out, which is the next Star Wars product. It's coming out soon. And what else? There's really nothing else coming out. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out for 2025 for Star Wars, right? I'm not misremembering anything. I know that Star Wars Vision Season Volume 3 is coming out. That is on the table. We are not getting a movie until next year. A fun fact: the next Star Wars movie is coming out next year. That's gonna be The Mandalorian and Grogu. That is the next movie coming out from Star Wars. By that point, that is the first Star Wars movie in 7 years. It's gonna. That's crazy to think about, isn't it? RAT Comedy. That's gonna be sure. We've had breaks of Star Wars movies, duh.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be the first. That's gonna be the first Star Wars movie in 7 years. And that's after having consecutive movies from 2015 to 2019. Like every year there was a Star Wars movie. And now we've gone 7 years without one. Sure, we've had all these series and stuff, and obviously we've had the other movies. But that's
Other movies. There weren't any other movies.
and I meant original trilogy and like we've had the movies like of Star Wars. It's not just it's not just okay, what the fuck? It's not just been like the sequels. It's been like the like we've had the older Star Wars movies. Also, fun fact, The Force Awakens is gonna be 10 years old this year. It's gonna be 10 years since the sequel trilogy officially this year. So, yeah, that's
Congratulations, Ray.
I
You're
feel
10
old.
years old.
Yeah, it's 10 years old. Anyways, yeah, 2025 seems to be kind of a quiet year for Star Wars. We don't have a lot. We have Andor, so that's pretty big. People love Andor. We had a little bit of what's it called, Skeleton Crew, like getting in here,
Skeleton Crew.
and that's really it. We have Star Wars Visions Volume 3 coming out later in the year at some point. We don't know when, but yeah, it's coming out. Anyways, that's really it for 2025. So yeah, weird things. Not weird things, but definitely weird to have kind of a quiet year, especially after 2024 being kind of a big year. It's not like 2024 was the biggest year for Star Wars, but it's definitely the most. It's one of the more packed ones, I would say, because 2024 had the finale for Star Wars, Bad Batch Season 3. It had Star Wars, Tales of the Empire, The Acolyte, and we started with Skeleton Crew. That's really all it was.
God, I hate
But yeah, like 2024 had 2024 had quite a bit of stuff for Star Wars, but it's not like it was a lot. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot of good stuff coming out of Star Wars in 2024.
It's always been a little quiet ever since the sequels. The sequels ended. Okay,
Yeah, but
we got some shows here and there, but like nothing extreme. Okay.
I mean, Mandalorian was pretty big.
I mean,
when it came out.
Yeah, technically, yeah. I mean, you got the baby Yoda hype.
Yeah, like and all that, like season 2, and then we have Star Wars, and then we had the Book of Boba Fett. Was not 2021 had quite a bit of stuff here and there for Star Wars. Not a lot, but definitely quite a bit of stuff. Against Star Wars Vision started in 2021. But yeah, it's been relatively quiet for Star Wars. There's been a couple projects here and there, but never anything too big out of the franchise ever since the sequel trilogy. and it's definitely been on the down low for quite a bit. But we're back. It seems officially we're back with movies next year. Not
Which
sure what
would be back.
2026 will officially bring. I am not like before we begin with this movie. I am not all that excited about Mandalorian Grogu, especially how season 3 of The Mandalorian ended, or well, how it fucking ran in general. Have you watched anything Mandalorian?
I watched season 1.
Uh,
I
ended
just
at
watched
season
it in
2
between
if you ever
breaks.
get around to it.
Okay. What I've seen
Uh,
is really good. Mm.
yeah, like season 1 and 2 are very very good. Season 3 is awful. Like it's really really bad. It's
Oh.
awful. Yeah. I don't know how they fucked it up that bad. Like in the Mandalorian, like people have sung its praises so much, and then it turned to shit in season 3, and I am not sure if they'll be able to save it with the movie or if they even do season 4. Because people have been talking because Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni really want to do season 4 of Mandalorian, but it seems like what they want to do for season 4 is going to be like rolled into the movie. So it seems like the movie will be season 4 instead of like there being an official season 4 and 5 and whatever the fuck they're also gonna do. But yeah. Anyways, Empire. Let's get
Empire.
into Empire. So again, Empire is the second movie in the original trilogy. It's the second movie overall to come out for Star Wars. So it's the second oldest. Obviously, it started off with it started the 80s. Like it started at the beginning. It came out at the beginning of the 80s. Touted as one of the best movies. So let's get into it. And like I did for A New Hope, I watched the special editions from 2004. I did not watch the Disney Plus version. I abstained from watching Disney Plus version. I do not want to watch Disney Plus versions because they changed more stuff. I want to get as close to the original as possible. So I give it its fairest, honest review. So how was it? Okay.
The last time I watched Empire was a modified version. So like, yeah.
What modified? There's like that you know.
I have no idea. Okay, there's like a million of them.
That's what I mean. Like, do you know how little it narrows it down? There are
Literally.
so many. The, this like the sequel trilogy, but mainly A New Hope. It's mainly A New Hope. Let's be fucking real here. It's mainly A New Hope. But Empire Empire's the one that got changed, but it was for the better. Empire was changed for the better, adding like stuff that they want to add in the 80s that they couldn't add then. So I agree, at least for now. I kind of going into what we're gonna talk about first. That Empire Strikes Back is better in the special edition. Now, now, Return of Jedi is the one that's changed the least to my knowledge and to my memory. It only did like the sensory for like the Twi'lek in Jabba's palace, and that's really all it changed from the originals, or at least like that was the Disney Plus version. So I don't know. I don't know if that was like reflected in the 2004 version. Maybe it's not. But from what I know, Return of Jedi is the one that is the closest to the original that we at least have right now. God fucking damn it! I can't do anything about. I can't stop recording. If you hear dogs in the background, both Rock County and the audience, I would usually pause the recording if I could on my other like recording app that I have, which is probably why the audio quality sounds different because like most episodes with people, I'm recording this on Discord, but I can't because I'm the one talking. I'm the one posting. I'm the one putting points down right now, and I can't just fucking mute. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So like I get, but back to Empire. To my knowledge, it's better if you watch a special edition. At least like like it's like the best way to watch them. And really like the only way to watch them right now that's like at least like good quality. Obviously, Disney Plus has them 4K. Some people care about that, right? Um, that the movie is in 4K, Ultra HD. It looks really good. I don't. I like to watch all these older movies in the state that they should be watched, which is as original to the quality as you can, because that's how they experienced it back then. Obviously, some movies you can't really get that. You can't. You get what you get. You get what you pay for. But yeah, again, special edition is the closest thing I'm gonna get to the originals, for me at least. I also have the DVDs, not the DVDs, but the Blu-rays for the prequel trilogy. I don't know if Disney Plus has any changes from the Blu-ray editions. I'm not sure, but I might still just use the Blu-ray versions, to be honest. I don't think the prequels were changed at all. It's just the originals. But yeah. So fucking side tanning aside about about the special edition and shit, but yeah, RAT Comedy. Whenever you unmute, it would really depend on when you watched it, because I'm not sure if you ever had Disney Plus. Like you could have watched on Disney Plus. Like that's definitely possible.
I'm just not interested in Disney Plusing myself.
Don't worry. There's not much of a selling point to having Disney Plus right now. I'm not like I said. It depends on when you watch it. If it was like before 2019 or like around the time, if it was like around the time you watched Mandalorian, you probably saw it on Disney Plus, which is again Disney Plus version, which might not be that different. It might just be the 4K upscale. I'm not sure. Um, but it was before then. You probably watched like a special edition version, probably 2004 one. That's like the one that's like most available. Which is like again DVD. It's not Blu-ray version. It's 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 not the best way to watch it, but it's definitely one of the better ways to watch it. But yeah. Anyway, let's let's get into what we but we always start off with, which is the CGI in action. Again, this movie has changed over the years. The CGI quality is definitely not how it was in the 80s. Both in the movie and like in real life. We're gonna cover it like if like as like without judging it as it were released today. But in the context of the movie, this movie does not look like how it did in the 80s. Like on any metric, really. I'm not sure that I'm not sure if this is if the theatrical version is out there somewhere. Probably is. But yeah, this movie did go through some changes. I will admit, some of them still look like 80s CGI, and something I gotta mention is that this movie looks the most modern out of all of them. At least from what I remember. From what I remember. This movie, like from what I watched, obviously. This movie looks the most modern, like the best looking one out of the entire prequel trilogy. At least until like from what I've seen now, which is 2 movies, but whatever the fuck, right? Um, CGI is good, which is again, it's very impressive for the '80s. So yeah,
I mean, it's Star Wars. What's
Erica.
bad about it?
I mean, yeah, there's nothing really that bad about it. Like, sure, it's '80s CGI. You get what you get. You get what you pay for, but yeah, it's still good. Again, it's still like ahead of its time, really. And that's still with like everything they did to add it to the movie. That they did for the special effects. Because fun fact, Boba Fett was voiced by a complete different actor in the originals, in the original cut of the movie. It was a completely different actor. They replaced him with Tamara Morrison when these when the special editions came out, and that's like the voice that stuck around. Um, where Tamara Morrison is the actor behind Jango Fett, and the one who plays Boba Fett in the current saga. At least currently, that's who plays Boba Fett. He was not Boba Fett when the movie when Empire came out. He redubbed it for 2004. He did not. He really did not. Oh yeah, wait. Here we go. God damn. Changes. Changes with the movie.
I told you I'm on a
Okay,
sequels binge.
okay. A sequels binge? What?
Well, technically not really. It's just just to how there's a lot of prequel videos and OT videos and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. I figured
Yeah.
like what. Why not? What's there about the sequel? So I'm just researching some stuff about them, some obscure shit. Cause sometimes you get tired of the prequels, But I'm being hooked back on the prequel, so it's coming to an end.
Mm.
Gosh.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's so weird. Like what they did. It looks like they didn't change much to Empire. To here. Um, because of shots of the Wampa that captures Luke on Hoth. Where is it? Okay. Oh yeah, the Emperor's hologram, of course. This is a very famous one. Um, where the Emperor looks different than Ian McDermott, who played the character in Return of the Jedi and the every other film ever. So yeah, um, the Emperor looked different, and as soon as the 2004 DVD versions came out, they replaced the character, yeah, with the hologram. But yeah.
Palpatine's the goat.
Let's see. Um, twist your shots, whatever. All right. So there's been quite a bit of changes that I see here for Empire. Not a lot, but definitely there were there were some.
What was that?
But yeah. So, but yeah, like, but aside from that, the CGI is very good. Like, and very very impressive for its time. I can't. Do you have anything to say about the CGI?
It's good. It holds up.
Yeah, I think for 80s it holds up pretty well. It holds up pretty well. And of course, there's the action. This movie, to my I did watch it like a fucking like a week, like about a few weeks ago. To my recollection, this movie it doesn't have a lot of action. It's much more of a thriller, I would say.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Instead, I think this movie is much more of a thriller than like a traditional action movie.
No way, dude.
Not
Okay, this
what?
this has nothing to do with Star Wars, but I just realized they're making a Coco 2.
Oh yeah, I saw that. They're making a Coco 2 for 2029.
Coco is the fucking goat. Okay, this better be good. That's all I have to say. Let's get back to Star Wars.
I I have not watched Coco.
Trust me, it's really good.
All right. I'll take your word for it. I might not watch it, but yeah. Anyways, Empire. Fuck, what was I talking about? Right.
Thinking about how that was a
Empire
thriller.
isn't. Yeah, it's much more of a thriller movie. That's like the best way I could describe it. Instead of being action oriented, the first time there's any real action is at the end when Luke fights Vader, and obviously, that's like the big action sequence, but that's a bit at the beginning. Like that is a pretty big action set piece. I think the action's pretty good, especially from what it is here, and I think the action peaks in Return of the Jedi. I think that has the best action of the entire trilogy. At least from my recollection. Again, my recollection. It's a lot more action oriented, but Hoth is still a very cool, a very cool action set piece. It had like all the miniatures and stuff. Also, I forgot to mention that when talking about CGI, but all like the miniatures that they use for the movie and all that stuff. That's all again very cool. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, there's not a lot of action. Again, the final battle with Darth Vader and Luke. That's based on a lot of like the old samurai movies. So again, also very cool, and it's definitely reflected a lot here. But yeah, again, action is definitely not what this movie was trying to go for. It was trying to mostly be a thriller, or like at least not. It gave a lot more spotlight to the characters and the plot. It is classified as an epic space opera. So yeah, but it is okay, whatever. Here we go. Sure, Star Wars is also an epic space opera franchise, but you know it's known for being action oriented. Where is that? Here we go. Okay, fine. It's an epic. It's an epic. Sure, it's an epic. I will admit that, but like, like this one's not doesn't have a lot to do with action. Not a lot. So I don't mind that. I think it definitely works in the movie's favor, and it gives a lot more limelight to things that I think that like it wants to put the spotlight on. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it that much. I really don't.
I just realized
Um,
as a kid, I did complain that it was too boring, too slow, and I think that was the reason why. Literally,
there was not a lot of action. I
yeah,
completely understand that.
literally
I
as a kid, when I was,
Empire was
I
the
grew,
movie.
I grew up. Okay, so I appreciate it.
Uh, I won't deny it. Empire was the movie I remember the least of because again, it wasn't very action oriented, and the last time I watched it was at least seven. Not I mentioned to you before, either before or after. No, definitely on the episode. But the last time I talked about, I even like watched one of the uh, a Star Wars movie, like an original trilogy movie, or did a rewatch or anything. It was before the end of the sequel trilogy. I have not watched a movie since. Well, a Star Wars movie since. So yeah, it's been quite a bit. So, and Empire was the one that I remembered the least out of. So, bit of like I guess like a blip in my
Damn
radar.
achievement!
What?
Got a cock achievement. That's pretty cool.
Is that what they give out cockfights?
No,
Cock achievements?
it's the base building one.
Okay, you didn't get the joke. Anyways, it was a um. Okay, recovering from that awful fucking travesty. Um,
National tragedy, yo.
uh, yeah, that joke. That joke fucking sucked. Moving on. What the fuck was I even talking about? Oh yeah, Empire was the one that I remembered the least out of. So rewatching it and definitely giving it a new lens. Uh, definitely helped a lot. I think a lot of children probably like classify Empire as their least favorite, and I don't blame them because again, Empire is a slow. It's not painfully slow. It's definitely. It's not like it's fast. It's a 2 hour movie. Like, yeah, it's not going to be.
You've gotta be kidding me.
It's not going to be the fastest movie, and it definitely does take its time
Dude,
narratively.
dude,
But
dude. I was opening a
what?
game here. I was opening a game here on my iPad. Okay, yeah, I haven't used it in a while. I come to this abandoned ass game, and I found out that my username was Morbius. Y- Yeah, it's that abandoned, yo.
At least in 2022 or 2021. I don't fucking know.
Oh my, 2020, 2024, 2025, and we're still talking about Morbius. No way, dude.
Yeah, no more.
And this game is asking me a question about U.S. history. You know what? This game ain't fooling me. I'm too good for this game.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, more. Here comes an absolutely gigantic side tangent. Morbius was ruined by the movie. It is like a character is he's itself like himself is really cool, but the movie absolutely ruined him. Now they are probably afraid to like do anything with Morbius.
Nah. They better loosen up, okay? We got the memes, okay? They've got the loyal fan base, okay? We're gonna do
You
anything
know,
for our
you know,
Morb, okay?
you don't understand. The character of Morbius is like really cool. Like he's really cool in the comics, and then they just ruined him with the movie. Not just because the movie's bad. Of course, the movie's bad, but like, uh, but the movie like, and its following have absolutely ruined Morbius as like anything. I wouldn't. be. I wouldn't be too shocked to hear that they haven't used Morbius in a comic since the movie came out.
You know, you know what? Marvel Rivals, they better add Morbius. They've got Venom, okay, so they can add Morbius. They always Morbius.
I wouldn't be too mad, but but
But
the real issue about adding Morbius is the fact that there'll be a resurgence of the Morb meme.
we're gonna morph so hard that game.
This is a huge side tangent, but Morbius. If they had Morbius to Marvel Rivals, I on every fucking chat. I don't know if like RAT Comedy. You obviously don't know this, but whenever they pick the thing, whoever picks the thing, usually if they're on PC, they usually go in like the text chat. It's clobbering time. You know the catchphrase. They usually say it. So if Morbius gets added for like maybe like a good month, or at least 2 weeks. There's gonna be nothing. Like people are gonna fucking install lock Morbius and just spam its morbing time.
And then they probably throw morb all over the bad guys.
Yeah, it's the I now that you fucking put that image into my mind, I want them to add Morbius.
Oh,
It should be.
I want this. I want the morb, the morb memes to return. It's gonna be fucking chaos.
They actually mentioned Morbius in the game. If
No
he
way.
they mentioned him because season 1 is like it's about vampires and stuff. So Morbius is the living vampire. He's like half vampire technically, not like officially, but you know like he needs blood, but he's not a true vampire. So he's kind of
He's
intertwined
not
with all this.
not a vampire. He's a morb.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Morbius is mentioned in the game, but yeah, if I kind of want them to add Morbius just because I think it'd be really funny to see like people going, it's clobbering time. I don't know, it's morbing time.
Morbid time.
But yeah, anyway, fucking Empire Strikes Back. Um, I think a lot of kids probably don't really appreciate this movie as much as the older generation does. It's like older generation, fucking like people above the age of like 15, like right, like they probably don't really appreciate the movie like people like that. Like fucking that can appreciate media more. Uh, can because obviously like this movie definitely takes a bit to get going. And also, you know, Luke gets captured. Like, it's slow. It's slow, and I will not deny that. This movie isn't painfully slow, and honestly, movies can be slow. It's not. It's not like a. It's not like a sin to not be slow, or like to. It's not a sin to be slow in movies. And this movie does make it work. Like, this movie absolutely makes it work. But for kids, it's definitely not the type of movie for them. And the funny part is that Lucas really want to sell toys to children. Like, that is one of his major things about this movie. He really wanted the movie to, like, he wanted the Star Wars movies to sell toys to children. Fun fact, RAT Comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But The reason why George Lucas waited so long to make the prequels is because he wanted to make as much money as possible from toy sales.
Capitalism.
Yeah, he wanted to make as much money from toy sales because he made a really bad deal with I forgot what their name was. But they made a really bad deal with a toy company, and basically George wanted the money. Well, George wanted the money. Uh, George wanted money. So yeah, he waited a long ass time for for the toy license to go back to Lucasfilm. So the day that the day that George Lucas got the toy rights back for Star Wars, he announced the prequel trilogy. The day. So yeah,
Let's go back.
yeah, it's wild to see that, but yeah, that's like the entire reason why George Lucas waited so long on even making the prequel. That's because the toy sales. But yeah, like again, Star Wars is somewhat targeted to kids, so seeing a movie being really slow and especially the type of movie that Empire is. Empire is I we're probably gonna get into the plot, but Empire is not the most kid friendly movie out of out of any of the movies.
I mean,
It's the one where the heroes lose, like the main character loses an arm. The like the main character's almost like they die in the cold. They get captured and shit. Like it is
that's my.
not the most. It is not the most kid friendly movie or kid I guess focused movie.
Well, we got skeletons in the previous movie, so
I mean yeah, but like I guess to keep like an audience attention and shit. Like a New Hope did have a lot of action, a lot of out of exciting moments, and that's in this movie, sure. But this movie is mostly not as. It's like I can't shake the feeling that I'm describing the movie as being like slow as like a bad thing. I'm not trying to. That's not like a me. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's like it being slow is a downside. It's definitely an upside to how this movie even works. But the thing is that there's a lot of this movie to really understand requires a lot of thinking.
brain power.
Something that I'm going to be honest, children are not aren't really trained and haven't really lived long enough to really analyze media like that to the point that Empire Strikes Back goes in. So yeah, it's it's uh it's not good. It's not like it's not good. Like it's still like a very good movie, but it's probably like again like to most children, even to me, most of this movie's themes probably go over your head. But yeah, and obviously it's not. It's like the action is just in there. Like, yeah, like there's a lot of good action. That's all I want to get to, but there isn't a lot of it. To be very honest. So, anyways, let's move on to the characters officially. Let's start off with Luke.
Oh,
Luke Skywalker, main character. Let's talk about it. So,
got his arm
I
sliced
think
off.
I don't know what I don't know. I don't remember what I said. What?
Got his arm sliced off.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna add to that. So, uh, I've seen a lot of discussion about Luke being like, oh, a perfect character. He's not. In this movie, we definitely see his flaws as a character, and it's something that we saw previously with with A New Hope. Um, and Luke really wants to be a Jedi. Like, really wants to be a
Really,
Jedi.
really.
Um, and he spent a lot of movie training, all this movie training, and definitely a lot of the first movie training. And also use the Force and all blah blah. Right? Yeah, like he's not a full Jedi at the end of Every Hope, but he's definitely on that path. So how does the movie try to deal with that? Well, I think it does it really well. I think Luke's character is done really well in this movie. Um, because we see him fail hard. Uh, we see him seek the training of Yoda, but
Yeah.
Yoda isn't. Yoda like persists and like. But Luke isn't exactly that uh that lenient with time as what Yoda wants him to be. Yoda wants him to take his time and like train with him as good as he can. But Luke really needs to get back to Han, Leia, and the others. Like he really needs to. So he cuts his training short, and that really fucks him over because he goes straight to fighting Darth Vader.
And it goes very well for him.
Yeah. But it's important to see as a character. We see that he is very stubborn and kind of full of himself and thinking he can pull it off when like everyone tells him you need to fucking stay here to train because you're not ready to take on Vader, and he was not ready to take on Vader. He was not ready at all. He bro realized he was not built for this. And again, that feeds into what we see in the Return of the Jedi, which I'm not gonna try to say much about that, but like he is a better Jedi Master at in Return of the Jedi. He's trained a lot.
He becomes better. He's got an arm.
Yeah, he got the robot arm at the end of this movie. But yeah,
But he's got the better arm there.
yeah, he has the bionic arm in this in this movie. But yeah, yeah, I think showing that Luke is a character with flaws and very apparent ones that were built on what we see in the first movie, I think it's really well made. Sure, it's normal character writing, but definitely like it's something that you should definitely explore as with characters. But it's something that's done here really well, and I gotta applaud that because Luke gets beat down pretty quickly. Not pretty quickly, very like gets beat down a lot in this movie by everybody, and it's good to see that for character development, but it hurts to see really because that's probably what feeds. I think that's definitely what feeds to a lot of people, probably a lot of kids not liking this movie as much, is the fact that Luke loses a lot.
That's sad for
And the fact that
them.
they probably side with Luke. Yeah. So they probably side with Luke a lot. That they like, oh, we need to stop Darth Vader and all this shit. Like we need to stop him. And obviously, well, that goes well for him. So, yeah. Um, obviously, not not the most ideal outcome. Yeah, again, I like that about Luke. I like that Luke has this character, has something about his character. He's not just like the perfectly written hero. He has his flaws. and we see them very exemplified in this movie. I like that a lot. So, Rakani, anything to say about Luke?
He lost his arm. He didn't take his training seriously. He got his ass kicked. That's sad. But yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you in all of those things. Like Luke gets hammered down a lot in the movie because he was just impatient. And so you could describe him as because he wanted to get this thing done. He wanted to go out and be Vader. And it's like you gotta take the slow path, yo. But then he didn't listen, and then he got straight to fighting Vader. He lost hard, and yeah, just it was good to see. It was good to see. Yeah. Sorry, not
Yeah,
for a
and it's
kid though.
definitely what?
It's not good to see for a kid, okay? Because your hero's getting his ass kicked. That's sad. Yeah, I wonder how many
Yeah,
kids were depressed after that.
I don't know, but it's kind of what I said. I'm pretty sure that like this movie isn't popular with a lot of kids, uh, because it's like very slow. It's slow for them. It's very slow for them. It's a lot of action to keep like your interest, like for like, a kid's interest there, and then you kind of factor in the fact that excuse me, you factor in the fact that like the heroes lose this one. It's not gonna be the most fun time. Let me tell you that it's not gonna be the most fun time for a kid. There's people like now that I know, at least I knew, that I talked to, that didn't like it when the heroes failed, and like they didn't like the whole story turned bad when the heroes failed. And it's like again, like it's like a stupid thing to fucking complain about, but
That's
that's
dumb.
again besides the point. Yeah, yeah, it's a stupid ass thing to complain about. But yeah, I agree. It's not. Seeing Luke get beat down is good. Like it's good. It's good setup, and honestly, I think that the main reason why it feels the way that it does in this movie is because again, I think I mentioned this like before in our last episode, but about the original trilogy. I keep getting fucking mixed up, but we talked about. I think I mentioned that the original trilogy was viewed all as like one movie, one very long movie that George Lucas made the script for, but then cut up into three movies because he may want to do the trilogy. So we are definitely at the midpoint, and that's what Empire is supposed to feel like. It's supposed to feel like the midpoint. So seeing Luke get beat down here with like no real resolution, sure, makes sting a bit for kids and stuff. And even then, I think we got a pretty good resolution with the movie proper, with us seeing him leave his training and get beat the fuck down. So I'm not I'm not missing it too much, to be honest.
Womp womp.
I'm not missing a resolution all that much for this movie. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on to another character. I think this character and Luke definitely kind of swapped places from how they were in A New Hope, and that is Han. Han acts a lot more heroically in this movie and goes through like him being heroic.
Han was always the goat.
Uh, Obviously Han, in A New Hope, he was very much a scoundrel. Like he like was part of his DNA. But in here, he's part of the Rebel Alliance. But he's definitely a lot more of a solo. He works, no pun intended, but he works alone with Chewbacca. He works with Chewbacca a lot, but he works mostly alone. Like him and Chewbacca. So yeah. But seeing how he evolves in this movie is very cool. He goes in again. I wouldn't say a separate direction. I guess like a separate direction from where Luke goes in, and that's something that was shown in A New Hope how different both are. In A New Hope, obviously um Luke was very, I guess, innocent or naive. Naive is the best way to put it. And Han Han was definitely a lot more. What do you call it? He was more experienced uh with the galaxy and all that. So I guess so. Their development and their characters definitely went in different directions for this movie. Where where Luke is a lot more. Luke is the one that's like doing very brazen decisions and very stubborn decisions, and having very stubborn decisions. While
Whining.
while Han, not whining, I guess a little whining,
Whining.
but uh, well, but definitely but definitely he's fuck. He's definitely like stubborn. I've been saying stubborn for a lot, but I guess that's something I can put it. He's stubborn. He wants to get things done, and I do kind of respect that about Luke. But it gets in the way of him actually achieving his goal. Like in it for how much he did want to like um achieve his goal of beating Vader, really saving his friends from Vader. Him not finishing his training, definitely hurts. So yeah, but we are not talking about uh about uh about him right now. We are it's Han time, and Han, like I said, he's a lot more heroic in this movie. He takes a lot more decisions. He does sacrifice himself at the end to to easily buy Francis some time, or to like you know just to save them. So very commendable stuff. He obviously starts the movie off like being like himself really, but he does evolve into being a lot more heroic, and I do like that. That's not how he was in A New Hope, but it's a nice it's a nice evolution for from his character, and I do like seeing that here. But yeah, Rakami, you have anything to say about Han Solo?
He was always the go. I don't care. Um, yeah. I didn't realize
Yeah,
until now
you can definitely make the
he
argument that
was more so of a I do my own thing. I don't really care about anything else. Just give me the money. But in this movie, he cares more about the others. Leia and 3PO. He's just he's matured a bit. Technically, no. He's got a bigger heart. Okay.
Yeah, he's soft enough. He's soft enough a little, kinda, for at least for this movie, from in this movie. So yeah, it's a welcome change for him as a character. I do like it,
It works.
but yeah, yeah, it works. It definitely does work, and I guess it's again like it's I guess now it's cliche to go in that direction for that character, but back then, it was definitely a more novel idea, especially with him how he like contrasts with Luke in that sense, and like how he develops in this movie. But I think his development is a very good example of seeing how this movie was like the midpoint of one story. And also, I think I guess I'll mention this when we get when we get to the movie, like, I guess to the plot proper. But this movie is technically a book adaptation.
Okay, elaborate further. You got me
Uh,
hooked.
so Empire Strikes Back is sort of based off. I mean, let me hold on. It's sort of based on the book called. I mean, very kinda. Let me see if I'm right. Um. Here we go. So, well, no. Okay, I'm wrong. But Empire is the second draft. No, that's what I want to like. That's like okay. Hopefully, it's like that's as impressive. But Empire is actually not how the original sequel was supposed to be.
The sequel trilogy.
Uh, Not what I mean. But yeah. Empire was originally going to be was the original vision for what Empire was supposed to be is uh was okay, a bit of context. Not I'm reading this. Basically, George Lucas had the original vision for Star Wars, which was obviously which was Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. But in case Star Wars, in case the first movie failed, he commissioned Alan Dean Foster to write a low budget sequel uh, for for Star Wars, which was later released as the novel Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which is a banger ass fucking title. Like, that is some fucking heat. That is such a good title.
Beautiful. Wait, let me just. Throw the mind's eye. Nice.
But yeah, I thought it was like, oh, it's definitely based on that, but no. There was like so there was basically two sequels. There were for the original for Star Wars. There were two episode fives. There was Empire Strikes Back in case the movie did succeed and George Lucas could go with the direction that he wanted to go in, and then there was Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which was the direction George would take if Star Wars failed, and he had to make like like a sequel to tie everything else. But yeah, Splinter of the Mind's Eye is semi-canon.
Half canon.
Um, because it is canon to Legends. It's it's yeah, it's canon as the with the EU, like Star Wars Legends. It's not canon to the Disney timeline. But yeah, it's a very interesting story. I haven't like what happens with Empire. Not like not I have not read Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and I don't know if it's any good.
I mean, it's supposed to be a low budget sequel, so maybe.
I mean, yeah. Um. Uh. I guess, but that doesn't mean it's like it would be bad. But I mean, it was just in case Star Wars didn't succeed, and definitely Star Wars did succeed. So yeah.
Hmm.
But but it seemed like but it seemed like they want to base it off of they want to at least base it off um Jesus fucking Christ. I just looked at what the original fucking draft for what the original draft for Empire was. Here, it's a few excerpts. Um, basically, originally, Darth Vader wasn't Luke's father. Um,
Whoa.
Luke had, and this is the original draft for Empire. This is even more separate from fucking Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Mm-hmm.
But but Vader was like originally not going to be Luke's father. Leia was not going to be Luke's sister, but he was going to have a sister.
Okay.
And Lando was going to be a clone from the Clone Wars.
Badass.
But yeah, fucking weird shit.
I mean, Leah not being Luke's sister kind of works, but like at the same time, we're too used to it, so like, no, please.
Yeah, I guess we're too used to it now, but like it's weird to like look back on that now and seeing like how it was before then, and definitely seeing that George Lucas didn't have like the entire trilogy plan, just like what he wanted the trilogy, like what he wanted his movie to look like. So yeah, it I think that it was interesting what they were going for with the movie, but yeah. Anyways, back to Han Solo. I guess I like what they did with the movie with Han Solo's entire like character arc and everything here. I think I think it works well with everything and all that. So I do really like it. I can't deny that. And I like how it's a parallel uh to Luke in like every sense. But yeah. Anyways, Let's move on to Leia. Leia doesn't really do much in this movie, to be completely honest.
Does do some
I
stuff.
from what I remember, she's still sort of the badass and still does uh like she's still the badass she was from the first movie, but she does less in this movie, to be completely honest.
That's alright. Luke.
So yeah, I don't. What?
That's alright on Luke, okay?
I guess maybe,
Definitely.
but even then, she has her moments. She's still kind of in the movie, but doesn't really do much. Nothing. I don't know. That's kind of sad, especially for one of the main characters here. And
Mm,
she does a lot more in what do you call it in Return of the Jedi, and definitely a lot more in A New Hope. Sure, she's still dancing on the stress in that movie, and this one she's not. But in this one, she's mostly served to sort of, I guess, very crudely, to be to just like to show Han that he's in the wrong. Uh, and to like, yeah, like, and she mostly serves to prove Han wrong and to evolve his character, and mostly to push Han, which she's a supporting character in this movie, but again, to my recollection. But yeah, I don't mind it as much. I think she does what she needs to do. So I'm not all that mad about it, but it's definitely it's definitely weird, I guess. Would be
I mean,
the
no battery, you fucking bitch.
what?
This fucking asshole's running out of battery.
All right. I was wondering what the fuck you were referring to. What the fuck? Anyways, I know. A bit disappointing that the Leia didn't do much in the movie proper, but she gets a lot more in Return of the Jedi. So I guess it's made up for, but we should really judge about what it's in this movie. But I still think that Leia does her job well enough in this movie to not really warrant it being that much of a problem. So I don't mind it. I really don't.
Good.
It's just that she could have done more, but again, not really all that mad. So to move on to a character that this movie introduced to all of us, Yoda.
You. Yeah, the ketamine, yo.
All right, Yoda is an interesting character. He acts very differently from how he acts in every other piece of media that he's in. He is a jokester in this movie. He is really weird in this movie. He still talks mostly the same, but it's a lot weirder. And you really gotta think about how he ended up in this situation. But Yoda is funny in this movie.
To him. Thank you to him. I
Like
will.
he is he is funny in this movie. I will not deny it. And
Fuck
obviously,
out.
you see that he has like the moments of I guess like of him being like the wise Jedi master, like that he's like at least we're led to believe he is.
We were fooled.
So I don't mind it as much, and obviously he has like his famous line, "Do there is no try." So he's still, I guess, the Yoda he's the Yoda that we were thinking we usually think of now that the movies are there, and honestly I'm pretty sure it's like a not like a complaint, but definitely one of those nitpicks people have with the original trilogy. It's that Yoda's characterization does not fit at all what it was in the original trilogy, from what it is in the prequels and in the prequels. In the sequels, it's like the only thing I can give the sequels. The genuine only thing is that they mostly kept Yoda how he was in the original trilogy. The one thing I can give the fucking sequels, and it's that they kept Yoda how he was in the original trilogy, and not really tried to like retcon him into being how he was in the prequels, and I guess Clone Wars. But yeah, I like Yoda in this movie a lot. I think he's again really funny, but that's really all I gotta say about him. So, RAT Comedy, anything you want to say about old Yoda?
Yeah, I don't think so honestly, but it was a highlight of the movie. Okay.
Yeah, and I really like how he mostly how he teaches Luke. I think his style of teaching is uh it pushes Luke to his limits, and I gotta appreciate that. So yeah. And anyways, I'm moving on to Lando, another character this movie introduced. Uh, I like the double crossing nature we see with Lando. I think it worked for his character. Now he at first seems to be an enemy. He's like a friend, then an enemy, then a friend. And he's definitely a very big example of how the universe treats, like how the Empire treats the people it tries to work with. So yeah, a very interesting character to have to add to this movie, and he definitely does. And obviously, he's a fan favorite. So yeah, like he has his fans. So it's cool.
It wasn't there much, but
See
it was
that sort of
already good
stuff.
when he
Yeah,
was there. Nah.
yeah, like he's definitely again like a highlight of the movie. I think. But there's not much to say about him. He's like the most supporting character. He's like the biggest secondary character in this movie. He's the biggest example of one. Because Leia still is in this movie regarded mostly as a secondary character and then a primary one. So yeah, I don't, I don't know. That's all I really gotta say about Lando. There's not much
It wasn't there much.
to really.
Anyway.
Yeah, he wasn't there much, but I think when he definitely was. He definitely took the spotlight.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's Lando. So let's move on to our final character of the movie, Darth Vader. So again, big bad villain Darth Vader. He's here. He's back.
He did it. He survived, obviously.
I mean, yeah, he survived. He's already getting fucking blown up. But yeah, Darth Vader is here, and Darth Vader is still very cool. Uh, I I like him again. Darth Vader is just Darth Vader. You can't really go wrong with him.
He's just being himself.
There,
Being, menacing, epic guy.
you really gotta be really bad at writing if you make Darth Vader not cool. You know?
You fucked it up, really, though.
I don't know how you fuck up Darth Vader of like any character. And obviously this is like the original trilogy, so he's gonna be the best.
Automatically.
He's gonna be the best. He's gonna be the best he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm not. I think he's very good in this movie. I really like him. He's not here for much, but I do like him. He's given I think a lot more screen time than he was. Not a lot more screen time, but definitely more screen time than in fuck than in than on New Hope. And obviously he does a lot more in this movie. He gets to reveal the whole thing about Luke about being Luke's father and all that. So again, he's very iconic. This movie. He's very iconic in this movie. But yeah, RAT Comedy. Anything more to add about like any of the characters? I really just kind of glossed over Lando there, but anything to say about any of the characters really, if you want to.
I'm your father.
Last time I checked, no.
No, but just that line alone.
I mean, okay, yeah, that line is very very good. I will admit it's iconic. Okay, you can't like you were born into this world knowing Darth Vader is Luke's father,
You just
right?
know that.
Yeah, you're like born into this world like knowing that, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a big twist. It's supposed to be a big twist, but now it's just like an iconic moment. It would be if it was any other franchise, you would like see people tell people to like avoid knowing the twist. But it's Star Wars. Everybody has fucking watched it, so not much room to not much room to go in, right?
Not much.
Like you gotta know. This isn't like the box from Seven, right? This is just like everyone knows Darth Vader is Luke's father, or like Darth Vader's Anakin Skywalker.
And they mentioned in that movie.
You are
So
born with that knowledge, and what?
they mentioned, yeah, they first mentioned Anakin in this movie. Just to clear out some doubts, okay? It was first mentioned in this movie, not Return of the Jedi, okay?
When did they mention like the name Anakin, right? Like the name Anakin was first.
Yeah, it was first mentioned here. It was, he was talking to the Emperor. He said, Luke, he's the son of Anakin, blah blah.
Oh yeah, you did say that, right.
Ooh, I'm old.
You are completely right. You are. But yeah, I did not catch that, but that's mainly because again, you don't. Again, that's something you fucking like, you don't notice. because to you, like he's like to you, oh yeah, like Anakin, that's Darth Vader. And like even like I guess like maybe like I think some people do kind of consider like some people in their mind subconsciously kind of put Anakin and Darth Vader as two separate characters when they're not.
It's just a matter of
Right?
perspective, really. You're back.
Yeah, that's obviously not that's not everybody. I know that's not me. I don't do that. Like I know like all the time. But so sometimes people subconsciously like put Darth Vader and like it's prequel Anakin and Darth Vader two different to being as different characters. And I get why. Really, I'm not. It's not like oh I don't see where they're going for, but I see where they're coming from with that like at least that mentality. But it's wrong. Uh, sure, they may be they may be separate characters. I guess in like a personality and all that shit type of stuff, but they're not separate characters literally. And I do separate I do get separated thematically, but even then that doesn't really work because it's fucking Anakin Skywalker. He's meant to turn into Darth Vader. So yeah, our comedy you there? All right. Anyway, so to not to not like just repeat myself further until our comedy comes back. Let's move on to the plot. Uh, real quick. Like I said, I mean the plot like itself is structured pretty well. Like I said, this movie is pretty slow. Like this movie takes its time doing a lot of like doing its rounds, doing everything it needs to establish the plot. Like it takes its time, and I think it's time well spent because you definitely feel the fact that this movie is taking its time, and by that like I think the pace works in the as like a component of the movie because you feel that like Luke, for example, hasn't completed his training. You feel that like that time obviously time is fucking running out, but like I don't even know where the fuck I'm coming from here. Like the movie makes excellent use of its pacing and how that ties into to everything. So yeah, and like again, like making you feel all these different things. So yeah, I think I think it's cool that we could even have this sort of movie. We definitely couldn't have this now. I will say like this sort of slow burn type of movie for Star Wars of every fucking franchise. It's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly. Like I guess at any point it's not gonna be the most popular movie for children or like any sort of um any sort of audience. At least looking for movies in this genre. But yeah, the movie being slow, definitely a strong point, but definitely I think a complaint that people I guess children could have. Again, like I said, it makes excellent use of its characters and all that, and how they develop and how they move the plot forward. Um, I think I think its themes are pretty strong. With it being about like learning it when you're ready, and all that, and the fact that you will never be ready, and you may not be ready when you think you're ready. Again, like stuff there, and again the hero's losing and all that stuff. Like the stuff there about the themes that you know I think work a lot with what the movie is, and what the movie was going for. And yeah, again, like this movie, like I said right before, had to go through a lot of visions, had a lot of different ways it could go about, and I think that went the best way possible. At least with the story, and again, like how it handled the characters and how and how and how and how it ties that into the plot, and how and what the characters do to further it, and how their actions affect others and all that, and like especially Lando, like how again, like I said, how he betrays, and then like goes back around and then betrays and all that stuff like that. All of that I think serves the plot really well, and really brings out the strong narrative. And honestly, a lot of the all of the set pieces are cool, and again, uh, really help it out. But yeah, Rakamuri, are you like checking in again? Are you there? Hello? Hold on. I'm just gonna message him real quick. Uh, Not sure if I'm almost done with the episode. I'm gonna see what he says and if he says anything important. Um, there. There we go. All right. Anyways, yeah, that's all I'm really gonna say about the plot. It's a Star Wars movie. it's it's a star. It's an '80s movie. Like I've been talking about mostly. Um, at least for me, it's not a lot to say about the plot. Here, I guess it's structured. It's very well actually. It's actually very well. But uh, I don't think there's a lot to say really, especially especially when this movie does focus a lot more about on its characters and its plot. It's not as action oriented as like for example the first movie or Return of the Jedi. So so seeing that sort of thing, um like I said, it's different, but I think it's more welcome, and we'll probably never get a movie like this again for Star Wars. The closest we've gotten was Rogue One, and that one has mixed reviews. At least a lot of people don't are mixed on it. So yeah. I don't uh I don't know how much I don't have much to say. Just there you go. Our comedy's still not responding. All right. I hope our comedy listening to me. I'm not sure you're muted. I'm not sure if you can hear me. But I've been messaging you on Discord, and I'm almost done with the episode. I'm running out of shit to talk about.
Hello.
All right, there we go.
Well,
Yeah,
I was
have
just
you
helping
been
out
able to
someone.
hear me this
Okay.
entire time?
I was out helping out someone. Okay.
All right. All right. Sorry about bothering you. But
Sorry.
yeah, I'm almost on the episode. It's got done with talking about the plot. So do you have anything to say about the plot of the
Well,
movie?
um, not really. Yeah, like I said before, we discussed it was slow, but again, it was, you know, a kid wouldn't really, be on board with it, but you get older, but you then enjoy it more as time goes on. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I really do agree. You brought thank you for bringing some more stuff to talk about. I do really agree that this movie does get better with time, and especially if, for example, I don't know, maybe when the next Star Wars trilogy comes out, which there's probably gonna be a new. I think either I mentioned this or not. There's gonna be a new Star Wars trilogy. Yeah.
But when is it taking place though?
We don't know yet. All we know is that it's coming. It's gonna be out at some point. So yeah. Um, uh, we'll see when it comes out. All we know that it is going to come out at some point. We don't know when, but it'll eventually it'll come out.
Eventually.
But yeah, but what was I gonna say that it'll probably be better when I get to when I get to like when we get to that point in like fucking like 10 years or whatever. But yeah, I think empires get better with time, and you'll definitely enjoy it a lot more as it goes on. But I still think it's a fantastic movie and a definite must watch. My problems with it are very minor and very nitpicky, to be completely honest. But yeah, this movie has it all. This movie is definitely a bold step they took with Star Wars, but I think it worked really, really well. So let's move on to the rankings. So I'm gonna give this movie an S tier. This movie is, I think, the best example of how to do a sequel and do it differently than the first one, but do it very, very well.
Where did I put the original Star Wars though?
I put the original Star Wars in A tier.
Me?
I think you did too.
All right, put it on next tier then.
All right. We are 2-2 with of us being on the same tier list.
Awesome.
Removing. But yeah, I know that's not. I know it's like the basic bitch fucking answer about anything. Star Wars that Empire's really good. But yeah, like what did you expect?
It's Star Wars.
It is peak Star Wars. And for a lot of people, a lot of people think that Star Wars peaked with Empire. I wouldn't be so sure. I think Andor is definitely a big like spike up. Not from Empire, but definitely close to it. It's that like, Andor season one at least is definitely the best thing they've put out from Star Wars in since Empire. But yeah. Anyways, that's really about it. What did you guys think about Empire Strikes Back? Leave in the comments below. All of our socials are in the description. RAT Comedy, we do the funny YouTube thing, YouTuber thing now. So if you're on Spotify, follow us on you can follow us, you can rate us. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe if you like the content and want to see more of it. Like if you like the episode, or dislike it if you really want to. But expect to get called out next episode. And if you and if you feel if you think it's worth sharing, share it around. So yeah, also RAT Comedy's links are gonna be in the description, or at least like his YouTube link, which is the only thing only shared to me. So yeah, that's gonna be out. That's gonna be in the description too. So yeah, that's about it. RAT Comedy, say goodbyes.
Guys, I know what you did. I told you all a few episodes ago. Start unsubscribing from my channel, okay? I wanted to go back down to 0, okay? What do? You subscribed, okay? I went from 96 to 98 this week alone, okay? So you know what? Scratch those goals. We're getting back to 100, okay? That's the new goal.
Fun fact. This for some reason I don't know why, but I mean good for us. But this channel, the D Entertainment channel, has gone up in subscribers. So thanks, I guess,
I wonder who's actually listening
for
to us.
subscribing. I do too, man. I do too.
Anyways,
But yeah, thanks for subscribing to us.
yeah.
I really do appreciate it, and hopefully, if this is the first time listening to us, whoops, is it your first time listening to us? Sorry, and
Road to 100, yo.
yeah, no, and hopefully you stick around.
Yeah, and this
But yeah,
time we'll
no.
make it permanent, okay? No more unsubscribing and shit. It's gonna be permanent 100, okay?
Yeah, and follow our comedy on all his socials. He's the one that he wants to put down, which is his YouTube channel,
Yeah,
which is has around a lot more subs than this channel does. So
yeah, somehow.
I don't know what the chance is, but yeah, that's really about it. To officially close it off, RAT Comedy, can you please say your goodbyes again?
Bye.
All right, yeah. Bye everybody.